Hello again, everyone. Adam Kaplan at Greg Cosell for the Film Room. And Greg, the running back position is kind of like the jack of all trades. We have guys who could catch it, who could run it, do short yardage. But Peyton Hillis is such a fun football player. When I first saw him come out of Arkansas, I thought he was just Norm Bulash. I mean, let's go old school here.
Norm Bulash?
Remember Norm?
How old are you, Adam?
I'm actually 65.
Wow, you look pretty good.
Thank you. Just a couple gray hairs, but no. But Peyton Hillis is an interesting guy because he does everything, runs it, catches it. He's tough. Guy can handle a lot of carries, Greg. When you watch Peyton Hillis, what's he bring to the table?
I think he's a volume runner. I think Peyton Hillis is a back that needs to be on a team whose foundation is the run game. And there are still teams like that in the NFL. Because the thing about Hillis, and it was really impressive 2 years ago when he had his great year, is the defense wears out before Hillis wears out. And he'd have a lot of third and fourth quarter runs in which he was the more physical, more tenacious runner. Now, you wouldn't say he's got quick feet, but he's got quicker feet for a sort of big man than you think. You know, he's not necessarily going to make you miss, but he's got quicker feet. He's also a better receiver than you think he is. But I think he's clearly the kind of back, Adam. He needs to be in an offense that features the run. He's not an 8-carry, a back kind of runner. He's a guy who needs 18, 20, 22 carries. And see, normally if you play that kind of offense, you play closer games and you can still run it in the fourth quarter because you're dictating the tempo of the game because you're shortening the game by running the ball.
Exactly.
So to me, Hillis is that kind of back, and he's a volume runner. That's the term I always use with guys like this.
But he can catch it.
Yes, he can catch it.
He can run it, and he can block, and he brings a lot of positional versatility. Now, when we look at the running back position, Cedric Benson of the Bengals is not exactly Peyton Hillis. He doesn't catch the ball
No, he doesn't.
He's not real versatile, but the former first-round pick still is very good in his late 20s, Greg. You've seen a lot of tape of this guy.
Yeah, maybe I'm in the minority, Adam. I think this kid's a lot better than people think. Now, again, he's not a speed back. He's not a breakaway back. He has really quick feet, much quicker feet than people think. He just doesn't have long speed. I mean, this is a perfect example of what he brings to the table. Okay, look at his lateral agility right here. That's a lot better than you would think.
It's a shake.
Now, again, this is what I was talking about. He's not really going to run away.
Right.
A quicker back scores there, but I think he's a tough, physical inside runner with better lateral agility and movement than people think. And this kid, again, I think at the end of the day, you're dealing with a guy that needs 18, 20 carries on a weekly basis to be an effective player. He needs to be the foundation because, as you said, this kid does not catch the ball. He won't even be on the field in your sub-packages, as he wasn't with Cincinnati, because he doesn't catch the ball very well. But I think that he's still a good back. I like this guy, but again, you need to have an offense in which you run the football out of base personnel. You know, whether it's two backs, whether it's two tight ends. That's what Cedric Benson really is.
All right, another guy we're going to talk about. Now, he was technically a backup for the Oakland Raiders, and we're going to talk about Michael Bush. And Michael Bush had to play a lot last season for Darren McFadden. I'll tell you what, you want to talk about a big back, could handle the ball, and also caught a lot of passes.
In the screen game.
In the screen game is Michael Bush. Greg, you've studied this guy going back to Louisville. What's he bringing to the table?
Yeah, to me, he's a downhill runner with some power. His velocity comes from running downhill. I wouldn't call him fast. I think he's got pretty good feet. I wouldn't say he's laterally explosive. I think Benson's got more lateral movement than Bush. But Bush is a bigger man, by the way. But I mean, he's got to be 240 or so, give or take. And I think he's one of those guys that if you can run power with him or counter and get him going downhill, and here's the perfect example. Here's the run I'm talking about. This is counter. This is counter against the Chargers. And boom, you see he gets downhill, and he's a big man.
He's a load in the open field.
He's a load. Now, again, he's not going to run by a safety, but he gets into the open field. This is what he is. This is counter or power. It's a more defined hole. That's what he needs. That's what Michael Bush is.
Now, do you think going forward he could be a full-time starter for a team?
Again, I think he's a full-time starter on a team similar to what Oakland did last year that really used the run game as their foundation. So really we're dealing with three backs here in Hillis, Benson, and Michael Bush, who I think they need to be the foundation of an offense.
All right, that's the running backs, kind of a versatile group. For Greg Cosell, I'm Adam Kaplan.